Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 742. Now, today we're talking about living an abundant and meaningful life. That is what we're after today. I want us to make sure we get all the clarity that we need to be able to understand what it is to be meaningful. There's going to be 5 aspects to this. Now, of course, to live a meaningful life, there's going to be many others, but I've tried to frame it in such a way which will ask certain questions, but once you answer, you can start to apply it into your life. Now, this is being recorded live on YouTube, so feel free to go to youtube.com/Joseph Clough. Surname is Clough, so youtube.com/Joseph Clough, and therefore you can interact with me before the show, after the show. We get to know each other and things like that. It's really, really fun kind of connecting with you all, and we've got a nice little community on YouTube. So youtube.com/Joseph Clough. So, living an abundant and meaningful life. What is it really about? Well, I've been on both sides. I've lived a life when I wasn't abundant. I lived a life when I wasn't having any meaning. In other words, I was just getting by. I was living for the weekend. And thankfully, I didn't have that for too long. Only 1 year of my life. Because I let go of my issues of not feeling good enough, worthy, deserving, the anxiety, the blushing, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of success, fear of getting help. All of those things I thankfully managed to let go of at 18 years old, which meant I was only in a job from 17 to 18. And since then, the last 20 plus years, I have been self-employed. But in that 1 year, it was horrible for me because I had my issues, but also I was just living for the weekend, to hang out with my friends, go to a pub, go to a club, do something, thinking about, oh my goodness, it's nearly Friday, Wednesday halfway through the week, Thursday almost there, and then going through the weekend and then just dreading that Sunday evening, thinking I've got to go all through the process again. And it was a chore. It felt meaningless to me in many ways. Not that the work was meaningless, but I didn't feel like I was having meaning within the work. So, having been on the other side of living an abundant life and a meaningful life, I thought I'd just kind of break it down into simple steps or ideas for you to consider that will hopefully allow you to get more meaning and receive more abundance. Now, quite simply, the first thing is to do what you love as often as you can. Now, with a little caveat to that, it doesn't mean you've got to quit your job and find something that you're passionate about or purposeful about. I want you to just, even in the evenings, having hobbies, doing things which light you up. Because that is one of the things where we get meaning. It's not what life gives us, it's what we give to life. It's like living a meaningful life is finding meaning within the life. No matter how big or small, you don't have to change the world, but you want to be able to get meaning from it. So what is meaningful to you in the things that you enjoy doing? What are your hobbies? Maybe you want to change your career from getting your hobby and making it into a business. Like, there's many different things out there. And I was speaking to someone today actually where they thought, well, they can never do that because they don't have the experience. There's too much competition. I was like, there's no way that should be our reality. There are always opportunities to serve people and doing what you love if you wanted to be able to make it a business. But whether it be as a business or whether it be on the side in the evening, the weekends, find something that gives you meaning. It doesn't have to be just work then Netflix or work then YouTube or Amazon Prime or whatever you do. The more meaning you get out of life, your neurology is excited. If we think of some people when they retire or as they're getting older and they don't have meaning, the body begins to shut down. It's not as energetic. It's not as like youthful or alive. But those who you see who are older, who have meaning, their energy is profound. They're excited. They're really adding value by their experience. So for you, whether it be a career change by doing something that you love, something that is meaningful, something that is exciting, something that you enjoy, something that you would do and even if you didn't get paid. Like I would do this if I didn't get paid. In fact, I spend a lot of my time doing this for free or even a cost. Even to the point, if you think of the biggest commodity in the world, some people might think it's money. But to me, it's not. It's time. Time spent is something that you never get back. Money usually replenishes itself. So if you're in a career, every week or every month, you get paid. And you, like clockwork, it usually happens unless something happens in your career where you change or you leave your job, and of course that money is not coming in. But typically, money is always replenished, but time is always taken away. Life is the longest thing you ever do, but it also is becoming the shortest thing you ever do as well, in terms of getting shorter all the time. So for me, doing what I love at the expense of the commodity of my most important thing is time, I'm totally at peace with, because I love spending time, even if it is the commodity of time as a cost, or even the financial cost it is to be able to do the live episodes or the recordings or the like 6-7 hours a week or whatever it is, to be able to get this free content out there, because I'm so passionate, so purposeful. I've had my issues and I want to be able to hopefully serve others in doing the exact same thing. You see, most of the time, once you have an issue and then you let it go, you do find more meaning out of life. It's almost like I always say, like about Joseph Campbell when it comes to the hero's journey. At first, when you think about all movies and stories, the main star is living this normal life, and something happens which causes them to do something they've got to be able to achieve, someone they've got to save, or some awakening that goes, oh my goodness, I've got to make meaning out of this. I've got to figure out something. But there's a double meaning to that, because once they solve that problem, they find a deeper meaning, where saving the world because they saved their own issue or something like that. There's a consequential, deeper meaning. And I want you to think about, well, what could be your meaning by doing the things that you love? When you love what you do, you start to just want to do it all the time, and you are radiating it. And ever since I started doing what I love, I then kind of created the podcast. I created the live YouTube channel and all those kind of things. It went from 1 or 2 views, which was just me and maybe my dad having a quick listen to my podcast, and then suddenly up to 1,000 downloads every single month, then up to 25,000 downloads, and then it just went bigger and bigger the more energy and meaning I put into it. And now we get 150,000 downloads every single month, 12 million plus downloads in total. And it didn't just happen because I didn't want it to. I was bored by it. I had meaning. I had this deeper purpose that I wanted to be able to support people. So I think number one, you want to be able to find out what you love. What is it that you love to do? Whether you get paid for it, in a transactional analysis where you solve issues, you do something as a service, and therefore the transaction, the energetic one, is you solve something, you do something, and then they pay you through that energetic transaction monetarily. Or whether you just do it as a hobby, it changes how you show up at your work. It changes how you show up with your relationship. If you have children, you have friends, when you have meaning, you are radiating a whole different level of energy. So ask yourself, what do I find which kind of lights up my neurology? What is it that I like to do? What do I enjoy? What do I love? What have I forgotten that I loved? There's many people I've worked with in the past where once they let go of their issue, they rediscovered something that they used to do, but they just totally abandoned, and then they started to do it, like art. They would just suddenly like kind of give it up. Then they let go of their issue. Like, actually, I want to paint. I want to be able to serve. I want to be able to create. That creativity can be very profound in your emotional and physical health because you are engaging your neurology. You're engaging the neural networks. So number one, do what you love as much as you can in all that you can, because also on top of that, right, if you are doing everything from that place of love, you're acting out the actions of love by doing the thing that you love. If you don't like the word love, change it to enjoy. Well, you are now radiating that frequency and you're starting to create a new benchmark where this is the one emotion that I want to experience most of the time. Therefore, your unconscious mind starts to look for more things similar to it because it feels so good. It becomes like a healthy, good addiction that you start to find more love in other areas of your life. And that is why it also transforms all those different areas of your life, from your health, your relationship, your career, your spirituality, your religion, all of those things. You just level up because you are starting to focus on what you love. That is one part of finding more meaning and abundance in your life. And by the way, by abundance, I don't mean just financial abundance. It can definitely do so, because we're going to be talking a little bit about that as well. But I mean abundance in health, abundance in relationships, abundance in friendships, abundance in your career, abundance in your heart, in your soul, the very nature and being of you. That's what I mean by abundance at the pure core part. But of course, the monetary abundance is always good, which we'll get into. The second aspect I want you to consider is, if you want to find more meaning out of life in doing what you love, well, we need to be able to engage the present by having that attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is the quickest, most powerful state to be able to change your emotional state. If you're stressed and then you start to change your thinking and think about what you have in your life that it is good, you are then starting to engage in good feelings. You're switching from that fearful scarcity, that once again, that neurological, energetic or even frozen state, to actually a level of peace and love and gratitude and thanks. So ask yourself, what can you be thankful for today? What do you have in your life? Which can be the things, it could be the people, anything external that you have. You want to be able to experience those levels of gratitude. It's the gateway to changing your life. And it's a gateway of finding more meaning. Because if you're grateful for something, you're looking for more things to be grateful, which gives you more meaning. But there's different levels of gratitude. I've talked about this before, but it's very important. Phase one is the gratitude for the external, but then the gratitude for who you are is very powerful as well. We don't tend to be grateful for who we are, the qualities we have. So write down, what are qualities that you have that make you feel grateful for being you? Now you may say, Joseph, I don't have any gratitude for the qualities that I have. Well, if you find that tricky, look through the eyes of love. Look through the eyes of someone that you know who loves you. If you have a faith, look through the eyes of faith. If you have a friend, if you have a dog, you have a cat that you take care of and you love, what would they be thinking of you when you think, or if you were to look through their eyes, what qualities would they see in you? And write that down. You see, if you start to be more thankful and gratitude or grateful for the qualities of you, you're starting to raise your esteem. And if you raise your esteem, it raises your capability to do the things that you want to do. It will fuel that feeling of wanting to do more of what you love. You'll see more value in the things that you do in your career, or changing relationships, or abundance, or your your business, all of those things start to like raise up because you're grateful for the external and you're having gratitude for the qualities of you, which raises your value, and therefore you look for the opportunities which equal that. Low self-esteem deletes, distorts, and generalizes so much information in the world. You're deleting opportunities. You're generalizing things like, I'm always a bad person. I'm never going to be fixed. I'm always broken. But once you start to engage in the gratitude for self and the qualities you have, you're starting to raise that value. When you raise your value, then you start to see opportunities which will support that growth of you. So that is a second phase of gratitude. And the third one is the one I'm always excited about once you've got those two covered. To get more meaning out of your life, you've got to expect more out of your life. So the level of third phase of gratitude is going, I'm grateful for what the day will bring for me today. I'm going to be so surprised, full of gratitude. And I don't know how, in known ways and unknown ways, in seen ways and in unseen ways. I'm so excited to be surprised of all the good and great things coming my way. Imagine if you get out of bed and you had that frame of reference, that engaged feeling where you're excited as to what the world is going to give you today. Immediately, you're going to find more meaning in the things that you do. That's going to give you the abundance in excitement, in love, and once again, the meaning of the things that you do in the day. So be grateful for what you have now. Be grateful for your qualities of who you are, and be grateful for the good things coming your way. When you are open to receive it. It's like you're almost saying like, hey, I'm over here. I can't wait to be able to be surprised and have all that wonderful greatness and the things and the people showing up in my life. And I'm so excited to be able to receive it. Just think about it. Makes me feel good just acting that out, engaging with it. So that's the second thing. Number one was do what you love. Number two was to have gratitude for who you are, or what you have, who you are, and what is coming your way. And we did talk about the financial side because, and it doesn't have to be necessarily financial, by the way. So I'm going to play two sides of this. But the third thing is to be absolutely rewarded magnificently. Absolutely rewarded magnificently. So how would that play out when it comes to abundance? Well, if you do what you love and you're just so proud of what you do, and let's just say you're monetizing it, then I think it's your right to be able to monetize it very well. If you're providing a service, the level of service you give will be able to return the equal energy and value of that. And therefore we receive the abundance that we have. I live a very, very abundant life. I don't live in scarcity anymore. I charge what I'm worth. In fact, I think my programs are worth 100 times what I charge, because to me, it's life-changing. And there is a significant level there. But I do so because I put my heart and soul into helping people. I try to do it like on these free episodes as well, right? So I'm trying to engage and help as many people in the world. But when my program, when it's more detailed and my team and all those things, there's this level of I want to be able to receive the financial abundance as well. And I think that should be your birthright, by the way. Even if you reject it, and I'll tell you exactly why. We don't solve problems being poor. It's the sad truth. I mean, I wish we could, but if we're not in a financial good situation, then how are you able to take care of yourself, your family, your neighbor, your community, or even people not in your sphere, but you would like to be able to contribute to charities and do all those things? Like, it's very, very hard to be able to do it when we're not actually financially abundant because of that, right? Makes sense when you think about it that way. And if you have fears and worries about money, just remember this: money only expands people's truth. Now, if you're not a nice person, If when you didn't have money, you didn't like people, you were like cheating on people, hurting people, well, money, I believe, will just exaggerate those qualities. Now, if you're listening to this, that's not you. Think about those qualities of the gratitude. But won't financial abundance just expand that? If you have a good heart and you want to change and help people, wouldn't that extra abundance allow you to be able to serve those who really need it right now? That is my philosophy around abundance. When I am abundant, I can serve. For example, if we take it back to me, and I'm going to be applying this to myself, so not to impress you, but to impress upon you, hopefully. Right now, this is being, as I said, recorded, streamed live on YouTube. Now, I've got a $700-800 mic right now. If the mic quality is really bad, the chances are people probably wouldn't resonate with it. And trust me, I remember what it was like. My old mic, way back in the day, on my laptop, the computer fans were going off, the quality wasn't that good. I didn't like listening to it when I listened to it. So that's not going to be very helpful. But abundance allowed me to be able to get the mic that I really wanted and then to be able to deliver and help more. I also have mixers, I have monitors, I have 2 cameras, because the greater production that I can do, and there's a lot to be improved upon still, it allows more engaging material, right? It causes people to be able to pay attention more. So this costs money. Even if you think of my server costs for the app or the podcast, all of those things, it costs me money to do these things for free. 100% it does. Developing the app, the year before last, I put $20,000 into it. In the next week or two, I'm putting another $5,000 to $10,000 into it. If I didn't have the abundance, I wouldn't be able to even have an app. I wouldn't be able to have a podcast, which was very, very successful. Now, of course, in the beginning, I didn't have everything right. Like you heard me say, you could hear the fans and things like that. But once I started to be able to help people and serve people and know my worth in helping people, I was able to receive that abundance and then push it right back into the world to be able to serve as many people as possible. That is, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, that is what I do. I'm not actually that materialistic, other than my gear, to be honest though. Because like I said, that's a part of my mission and my purpose. But I'm not a crazy materialistic person. I don't need all the amazing cars or the huge house. I think a huge house would feel pretty lonely for me, right? I'm a single guy, so therefore I don't need a mansion. It feels wasteful to me. I want to just feel secure, nice, and comfortable. So it's not really about the money, but it is about the money, and if I can make an impact and give more of my time, that greatest commodity, to those listening to this podcast or the live stream. I want to get that clear. So yes, being rewarded magnificently is really important to me in my purpose, in my meaningful life, because I do want to serve people. But I did say there was 2 sides to this. The other side is what you get from what you do. You see, I'm not doing what I'm doing for the financial abundance. I'm doing it to be able to grow my path and help people. But why do I do that? Well, I just said it, to help people. It makes my day when people send me an email saying that I almost was going to do something very silly about my life, and you kind of know what that means, but yet they found it and said they carried on. And now they're in a relationship. Now they got the career. One person specifically even put it in a review on my app, on Apple. And it blows my mind to know that is possible. And that's the meaning that I get out of life. That's the meaning that kind of makes me wake up. That's being rewarded magnificently when someone says something like that, even if it was just from something that is free. See, that's a bigger part of a meaningful life and living abundantly. Remember, I said, like, it doesn't have to be financial abundance. It can be abundance in health and relationships, career, all of those things. The meaningful of waking up in the morning and just going, I'm so thankful that I'm abundant and being rewarded magnificently by living my life authentically. So there is that side, to be able to live life magnificently in abundance, being rewarded by the things that you do, where it be people saying nice things. Not that you got to run by other people's, I want to be clear on this, by the way, other people's validation. I'm not saying that. But to know you've made an impact in some way, to me, is just amazing. Like, it makes me want to do more and serve more. Now, if we apply it back to maybe you, who maybe you don't want to have a podcast or anything like that, when we think about just living and be rewarded magnificently, it could be like when you serve your neighbor by just kind of paying, oh God, I almost cheated there in terms of what happens next, by helping other people, you're going to be rewarded by maybe some gratitude from that person. That's a reward. That's feeling magnificently. That's like the compliment is just like lights you up because you did something selflessly because you wanted to. So with that, because I almost led into the next one, after do what you love, the gratitude for the now, for the self, and what is coming your way, and being rewarded magnificently, financially or not, the material or the immaterial, is that the word I'm looking for? As you know, these are always broadcasted live on YouTube, and I just say what comes to my mind. But the next one, pay it forward. Once you start to do what you love and you have that gratitude for what you have, the self, the things which are heading your way, and you are being rewarded magnificently, take that and pay it forward. And that goes back, and like I said, this episode's tying it back to what I do because I want you to know how I try to foresee it in my mind, is that I want to then pay that forward in delivering more and hopefully being more. I want to be able to grow, but how can you do this? Where it be? Let's say you have a business, very, very successful. Well, maybe you give it to charity, some aspect to charity. Maybe you're so thankful and so gratitude of the meaning of life and the abundance that you have that you go ahead and help out at a homeless shelter. You go on a mission, whatever it is for you. You start to pay it forward in the small things and the big things. And the reason why I say the small things, anything that you do small, you do not know the ripple effects. You really do not know. That one compliment to someone, because it's meaningful, because you meant it, could change someone's whole day, which will therefore change how they show up and how they interact with their family, their children, all of those things. No matter how small, one thing can change someone's path of life. It could be, for example, you see someone down on their luck, and if you were to help them, where it be like a pair of shoes or clothing or something to eat, anything like that, that could be a game changer for someone. Something so small for us can absolutely change and transform a life. So don't think, well, I've got to make a big impact in the world. I've got to really pay it forward and create global charities. If that's on your heart, then absolutely, I get it. Like, perfect. But if it's not to do those things, it's the small things which can be even more meaningful. Even if you look into the world, like at Thanksgiving, there's so many people trying to just support and deliver food in the communities. If you go to church, helping out at your church. If you go to support groups, like it could be anything. But once you begin to pay it forward, you are serving the world around you, one person at a time. It actually reminds me of a story that just came to me, which my dad says when we do trainings together. And you may have heard me say this before, but it really kind of lights me up a little bit, where there's someone on the beach and they're jogging and they see all these starfish, like just all these starfish just kind of on the beach, out of the water, and it's just like a hopeless task. You can't do anything. They're just kind of stranded there. And as he keeps on running, he sees an old man there. And he sees this old man just taking one starfish at a time and putting it back into the ocean. Another one, and another one, and another one. And as this man who's jogging runs past, says, "You really think you're making a difference? This can't be solved whatsoever." And the man just runs off. And then the guy picks up another starfish and puts it back in the ocean and simply thinks to himself, it mattered to you. It helped this one. So even helping one person can change the path of everything, and we don't know what that person's going to become in the future when they look back of being helped, no matter how small. If the task seems so big and so crazy that you think that you may not be able to make a difference, trust me, it could be one small thing. It could matter to that one person, and that could change history in the future. It really, really could. So really start to think about paying it forward. No matter how big or how small, it's the small things which sometimes can create the biggest changes in the world. Now, the last thing which kind of ties into this is contribution. I try to think about my legacy. Now, I don't have children. I have my two pets, but Mr. Cuddles and little Sebastian the dog. But I like to try my very best to contribute in some way by thinking about legacy. I really want to be able to contribute as much as I can with the time that I have in this world. I don't know when I will go to a different place. It could be next week, it could be tonight, it could be next month, it could be in a year, it could be from, but I'm 39 years old and hopefully it's got many decades beyond my present age. But whatever happens, no matter what, I am so willing to contribute to the world. We said on a recently episode, leave the world in a better place that you found it. I really believe in that. So ask yourself, knowing you're paying it forward, what can you contribute to the world? And you can see it differently. Like, are there things that you can contribute as a service to help people? Are there things you can do in your community to contribute? How can we get together as a team and as a group? Like, even on this channel right now, I see people commenting and it lights up my day because look, we are contributing together. We're coming together. There's that community, there's unity that allows us to be able to shine and grow. So what can you contribute, no matter how small? No matter how big again. When you come from a place of, number one, doing what you love the most. Number two, having the gratitude for what you have. No matter how little, you've got something. Having gratitude for who you are. No matter what, there's something there. Look through the eyes of someone who likes or loves you. No matter if it's a pet or a person. Maybe it's a faith. Whatever it is. Gratitude for what is coming your way. Excited to be surprised by the world. Then to be rewarded magnificently. Because when you are rewarded magnificently, when you are earning or charging what you're worth, once you're starting to even be rewarded magnificently by the things that you do and the things that you receive and the words that you receive from other people in this world by doing and helping and supporting people, it allows you to pay it forward. It allows you to contribute in the world, and it allows you to be meaningful even to the one person. Could be changing everything. So that to me are 5 things of living a more abundant and meaningful life. Now, of course, there's going to be many other things to do that, but as a nice frame of reference, we can, if we started to do those 5 things, I'm sure the world would be a better place and your life will be so much more abundant, more meaningful. Because after all, I think the meaning of life is what you bring meaning to. So shine a light onto those things, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by what you'll receive in return. And therefore, when you receive it, you want to give more and be more and have more. And hopefully, talking a little bit about me as well, like I said, it's to hopefully impress upon you rather to impress you. Like, we all have different missions, different visions, different ambitions, and that makes the world so much more unique. but hopefully you understand why I do what I do, what I'm trying to be able to build, that I don't want to ever stop. I do this for free, do it at the cost of commodity of time, and also the financial side of things, because I want to help and be in this world by doing so. But with that, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and there's nothing I'm going to try to sell you or try to entice you onto my program or anything like that. I just want to leave you with that to be able to hopefully help you. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you in a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye.